Hi everybody, welcome to Dandelion Cottage and Marvelous Monday. I'm Leslie Watkins. I hope everybody's well today. I hope you had a great weekend. I had a very nice weekend. We had some really warm weather here, but it really made the garden come to life. I think some of the plants put on a foot of growth. It was quite phenomenal. I wanted to share with you a special deal that's going on right now, and that is that when you join my design team, and you can find out more about this on my website at dandelioncottagedesign.com, and I will also post links below after the video. When you join the design team and Stampin' Up, you, in addition to getting the fantastic starter kit deal, which is where you pick $125 of any product that you like, you will also get all of this additional product for free. And these are the new in colors. So there are 5 different colors, and you would get one each of these ink pads, and you would get a full pack of the designer series paper, and I'll show you what that looks like. These are 6 by 6 inch sheets, so they have all the designer series colors, and they're two-sided. So there's 4 different patterns. There's a lot of paper in here. There's 48 pieces, and you can use either side that you choose. You also get a full pack of cardstock, and this is an assortment pack. So this has, let's see, 4 sheets each of the 22-24 in colors, and this is 8.5 by 11. So that is a total of 20 sheets of the cardstock, and you would also get a pad of the coordinating grid paper. Now this is not the in color grid paper, this is just some that I happen to have on hand, but I wanted you to see what I was talking about. This is just some paper that helps to protect your surface when you're working, or if you're having a crafting party, you can put a piece in front of each of your guests. So what I thought I would do today, because of this incredible special, and by the way, this is time limited, so you can only get these things between now and the end of the month. So you just have about a week or so left to take advantage of this. And again, all that information will be on my website. It's there right now. If you were to go to dandelioncottagedesign.com and click on join, you could read about all of the many, many benefits, because I'm not even scratching the surface here. There's quite a lot, but I wanted you to see the special because I'm going to be using some of these things today to make a very simple but elegant card that's perfect for somebody just getting started. So actually, let's pick. I think I really like the this Orchid Oasis. I think I'm going to go with this one today. So maybe the floral, or let's see what this one looks like. Oh, it's polka dots. That's pretty good. That's a tough choice. I think I'm going to go with the floral though, but both are very pretty. Okay. And I've got a piece. This is that beautiful color, Orchid Oasis. Isn't that gorgeous? Love this color. It's beautiful, sort of a pale violet tone. I've got a piece of the thick, basic white cardstock. So this is the thick, not the regular. I'm just going to use the 1 ink Orchid Oasis. And I also have another product from the brand new catalog, And this is a stamp set that's called Go To Greetings. And I fell in love with this set as soon as I saw it because it's happy birthday, thinking of you, just a note, and thank you. And it is in 3 different hands. So you've got this very large, elegant sort of Spencerian script style. Then you've got something that's a little more contemporary, and then something that's very casual. So I thought I would use either thank you or just a note. So let's see. I have some labels that I've already die cut, and I die cut these labels using the deckled rectangle dies. And this is also a new product in the brand new annual catalog. If you need a catalog, please let me know. There's also a place on my website where you can request a catalog with all the information about how to go about doing that. And the catalogs, I'll give you a quick peek. The catalogs are quite large. So this is the annual catalog, and you can see there's quite a few pages here. So let's see, there's 100, almost 200 pages, 184 pages, just jam-packed with tools, embellishments, trims and ribbons, dies, embossing folders, and then hundreds of stamps with both images and sentiments. So there's a lot in here, as well as terrific ideas. So if you're looking for a little bit of inspiration of how to use some of the stamp sets, you will find them in that catalog. So I've already pre-cut a couple of frames and labels using the deckled rectangle dies, and I like these quite a lot. Very pretty. These are going to be something that I'll be using quite a bit. Just put these aside for the moment. I'm going to get out my trimmer. Now, if you are a brand new stamper and you don't have any tools and you want to get started, I'm going to be using tools today that are essential and that I highly recommend. So if you're thinking about getting a starter kit, these are some of the things that I would really urge you to go ahead and get right away so that you'll be set up for success. This is the Stampin' Up! Trimmer. What's so nice about this trimmer, aside from being excellent quality and having very precision measurements, is that it scores and cuts. So this darker blade is the cutting blade, and this lighter tab is the scoring wheel. So I'm going to begin by putting my thick cardstock in here. I'm going to measure at 4.5, which is the midway point, and I'm just going to score this down the middle. That's going to be the fold of the card, and then I'm going to cut it at 5.5, and that's going to give me 2 beautiful note card bases, and that's going to have a nice crisp fold because of the scoring that I just did. The next essential tool that I would really recommend that you get is a bone folder. This is going to allow you to get nice crisp folds. It's also going to help you to spread your adhesive around, which I'm going to do in just a minute. And what this does, it helps to prevent you from rubbing your hand oils or cream or anything else you may have in your hand into the paper, as well as giving you these beautiful folds. So those are the first 2 tools that I would highly recommend that you get. So now we've got our card base, and what I'd like to do is I'd like to add a couple of mats to my card. So I'm going to use this Orchid Oasis cardstock to create my bottom layer. So I'm going to cut this a little bit smaller than the front of my card. So I'm just going to cut this at 4 1/8. And then at 5 3/8. Okay, and this trimmer makes sure that you have absolutely square cuts every time. So now I can just take a look at that, and you can see that just a little bit of the white is around the edge. That's exactly what I want. Now I want, before I cut my next layer, I want to first decide which of these labels and which of the sentiments I'm going to use. So I think I'm going to go with this larger one, and let's do the thank you. You can never have too many thank you cards. So this is a brand new set. So when you get a new set of stamps, these are the red rubber stamps. You also get these sticker sheets that you can put on the back of the stamp so that you can see from the back which stamp you're using. I'm not going to bother doing that right now. I'm just going to slip those stickers inside the cover of my case. And then I'm going to find thank you, and that's right here. And these are actual red rubber. They have a foamy padding on the under the rubber that's going to help you get a really nice impression. And then they have this little strip on the back which exposes the surface that's going to stick to your clear block. So the other essential tool that I recommend that you get is a collection of the clear blocks. They look something like this. They're very heavy duty. They feel really good in the hand, and they come in a lot of different shapes and sizes. And what you want to do is to try to match up your sentiment or your image, your stamp, as closely to the proportion of the block as possible. So there is a complete set of these blocks that you can get all of them, which I really recommend, and you would then save an additional 10%. So that's a great deal. All right, so I've got my stamp, got my block, got my bottom layer. Next is going to be my ink pad. Now I've already opened this one, but I want to show you. Here's another one that's unopened. I just want to show you what you can do when you get a new ink pad. So I'm just going to remove the plastic. And on the back of the stamp pad is this little label. Let me zoom you in so you can see that a little bit better. And it has the name of the ink color in 3 different languages. So you just select your language. I'm going to take the English. And I'm just going to partially peel this back, and then using my fingernail, I'm just going to pull off this little label. And what you can do is, on the front of your stamp pad, you can take your name label and just adhere that so that when your stamp pad is on the shelf or in the holder, you can see from the front panel here exactly what color it is, and you can also identify it by the color of the label. So I've already gone ahead and done that with my Orchid Oasis stamp pad. And by the way, here is the third essential tool, the trimmer, the bone folder, and your paper snips. These are very special, very sharp little scissors that will enable you to get into very tight places and get some nice clean cuts. And you want to use these just for your paper and nothing else. So keep these in a safe place where nobody else is going to grab them and start cutting fabric or whatever. And if you get the trimmer, the bone folder, the snips, and the collection of the stamp clear blocks, you will have just about everything you need to fulfill that $125 starter kit, which you will then pay only $99 and get free shipping and get a whole bunch of other little surprises in there. So that's what I would recommend as a very basic starter kit for someone who's never stamped before. All right, so now we're going to do a little bit of stamping. So I just have a piece of scrap paper here and this is wrapped around a foam pad. So this is actually called the piercing pad, and you can find this in the catalog. And it just gives you a nice soft surface so that when you stamp on your paper, you'll be able to get a really nice impression. So I'm going to hopefully not get my head under the camera here. All you want to do is open up your stamp pad and just lightly tap your stamp into the ink without rocking it, so that you keep the ink just on the surface of the stamping area. Now, excuse me. What you can do is you can test that, or it's right off the bat it came out perfectly. Sometimes you might want to stamp a couple of times before you actually go to your layer, because the new stamps might have a little bit of a residue on them, but this one is just fine, so no problem there. So I'm just going to make sure this is right side up. Okay, and get that on my label. I'm going to give the ink a moment to transfer, and there is my beautiful sentiment. Okay, so it's just that easy. So within seconds, you can have a beautifully scripted sentiment of your choice to customize your cards for whatever occasion you may need. All right, so now back to my card base. And I want to use this pretty paper. I just want to see. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give myself about a 1/2 inch border from each side. So let's measure that again. That was about okay, so that's a little bit less than the card base. So let's go with, I'm going to cut this at 3 7/8. I mean 3 3/4 by 5. I'm going to save these pieces because they'll be useful on another card. And let me just see how this looks. That looks beautiful. All right, that's going to be my card. So now what I'm going to do is I have my multi-purpose liquid glue, which is the adhesive that I like the best. There are a variety of many different adhesives that you could use. I like the multi-purpose liquid glue because I find it to be the most versatile. I can use it not only on my cards, but also on my 3D projects like boxes, anything that needs a really strong adhesion, this works perfectly for. And the advantage of using the liquid glue is that it affords you a little bit of time or wiggle room so that you can just slide your piece exactly where you want it to go. So I can still move this tiny bit till I get it right where I want it. And then now I'm going to take my bone folder again, give that a nice firm burnish, and that layer is not going to go anywhere. I'm going to do the same thing on my bottom layer. I'm going to line that up with the front of my card. just like so. Straighten that out. Burnish. Okay, there are my top 2 layers. And now my sentiment. But I could just glue this on to the front of the card flat as is, but I think what I want to do is I'm going to use some dimensionals. So the dimensionals are just these little kind of foam shapes. They have an adhesive backing on them, and I'm just going to put one in each corner, just like so, and I'll put one in the middle. And then you just peel the release paper off the back. That one's really on there. There we go. Got my sentiment on there. And what that does is it just raises the sentiment the tiniest little bit so that you get this lovely kind of three-dimensional effect with a little bit of a cast shadow. And that is my very simple, very elegant thank you card using products that you would get for free. These products, when you add up the total value, are a value of about $67, and that $67 for all of these ink pads and the designer series paper, the cardstock, and all of that is in addition to the savings that you already get on the starter kit. So we're talking about a savings of well over $100, and that doesn't even include all of the benefits that come along with being a member of the Stampin' Up! Family. So one of the biggest benefits is that you will then, when you sign up, enjoy a 20% discount on your future purchases for at least the next 3 months or so long as you stay active. And then there are also team benefits from me as well that come along with being a member of my design team, and I would love to have you. So that's what I wanted to show you today, how you could get started very quickly, very easily as a card maker and a paper crafter. I hope you'll consider joining us. I hope you have a great week. I'll be back on Wednesday for Watercolor Wednesday. And by the way, just as an aside, when you join the Dandelion Cottage design team, you automatically become a member of the Watercolor Card Club. So if that's something that you might be interested in, that's just another of the reasons that you might want to consider doing this. Stay well, stay creative, stay happy, and I will see you next time.